So let's talk about this Cayman S, this 718 Cayman S, 2.5 litre, flat 4, about 350 odd horsepower. Really cool car, really amazing. But as you can see from this car's been obviously slightly modified by its owner, which has been sent to me, and I actually thought it was a really cool car and something I wanted to share because it kind of makes it very bespoke. And I've spoken about the GT4 RS, and let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be able to A, afford it, or B, get an allocation. It was hard enough to get the GT4, let alone a GT4 RS. So that's always going to be a bit of a pipe dream. But you know, a normal Cayman, a 718 Cayman, is attainable. And this owner's done the exact same. And what they've done is they've actually achieved is put a kit on it which gives it the look of a GT4 RS, and I think they've done a really great job actually, as you can see from kind of these images. The car is wrapped in Arlon Midnight Purple, as I'm told, and it has a carbon fibre kit on it. It also has a Fab Speed exhaust, but other than that there's no sort of like tune on the car as far as I'm aware. It's a pretty stock car, and I actually think that car is ridiculously fast. Actually, the turbocharged unit is actually generally faster, produces more torque earlier, and really gets a shift on the wings, sort of the grooves there, all the extra sort of cooling parts which you get as part of like the front bumper. I always like that Porsche stripe down the middle. I always think it looks very OEM, which is very important. You can just about see the rear wing at the back as well. As I kind of scroll through, one thing I want to say, American gas stations are so much cooler than what we get in the UK. Just generally, they look better. And, you know, you just feel like you're in the middle of nowhere. I mean, I could be completely wrong, but it looks like you could be in the absolute middle of nowhere in America. You know, you always get the impression like a bear could jump out or something like that. Whereas in the UK, the worst you're going to get is a squirrel coming down from a tree. So that's where we are there. But yeah, it looks cool sort of under the lights. This is probably the best picture that the owner sent me, actually. Amazing landscape. Oh my god, what a beautiful place to go to. I would love to go to America at some point. It's definitely on my bucket list. Certainly when things get a little bit better, hopefully in 2022 I will go. And yeah, I mean, what a cool looking car. The 718 is a very nice looking car, and you know, wing or no wing, I quite like a no wing look because it kind of has that nice sleeking advantage, but this certainly gives the GT4 RS look. And actually, if you remember what the GT3 RS looks like, you've got sort of parts on that. Moving on to the next image. So the owner actually, luckily had a friend who actually, well, helped actually put the kit on and did the work on that side. And I think that's the main thing. Although you can kind of find these parts around the world, the actual labour costs and finding the right people to actually work on your car is the main thing. So definitely know someone you like, and you know, fit and finish looks pretty good from where I am on this car. As we kind of scroll through more images, yeah, this one just sort of in a car park as well. It looks great, and I've actually been kind of like obsessing as I go on to the next image over sort of like a 718 Cayman. And to be honest with you, I actually think kind of like the base cars, or certainly the S, are potentially the ones to go for because they're more attainable and they're actually probably better on the road with the amount of torque delivery that you get. And you can do things like this if you want them to look better. I mean, honestly, even just changing the wheels to something like this would actually make a huge difference on your car. But yeah, I think it looks stunning, and I really wanted to share this with you all, to be fair. And thanks to the owners for actually reaching out to me following my GT4 RS video. The next image you can see of all sort of like the doors and the wings up, obviously 2 front boots, which is quite cool for like luggage and stuff. You've got that huge wing that they put on the back. But yeah, sort of normal Cayman affair, but just with that kind of extra added touch, which I really like. I'll scroll through a few more quite quickly, but feel free to pause and kind of check it out. And I'll leave the owner's sort of like Instagram in the description as well if you want to kind of check out the car and maybe even understand a little bit more about it. And you know, they did comment on my previous video, so they may get involved in this as well to kind of let you know. And I like cars that, you know, you kind of bespoke and individualize yourself whilst keeping that OEM touch. I think that's always the key. Doing mods which completely change the look of the car is never normally my thing, but doing a mod which makes it look like a higher spec model is quite good. And the thing is, these 718 Caymans, they push. They don't weigh that much. Mid-engine sort of dynamism on the road, it's just a brilliant car. You know, actually I'm driving again a GTS 4 litre or maybe a GT4 PDK. I have driven the standard GT4 on my channel, the 718, if you want to check that out from the link above. So I want to do a little bit of a comparison of what I kind of think and my thoughts on the Cayman. Great little picture here again at another sort of gas station next to sort of like I believe in the States you call it an Acura NSX, but for us it's just like a Honda NSX in sort of Europe and the UK. But yeah, that's a cracking looking car. Red wheels, not too sure, but yeah, the car looks great. And obviously your sort of, well, GT4 RS 718 sitting next to it. I think the only difference actually is on the actual bonnet itself. You get like those triangle sort of indents. That's the ones that I've seen from sort of like the spy shots and sort of the testing. That's probably the only thing that would probably, that I can kind of think of actually adding to it. Other than that, you know, you're pretty much there, and even that's not necessarily a huge change, although you would have to obviously cut into your beautiful car to do it. This is how the car kind of looked like before a little bit. It's obviously got the standard sort of like Cayman S wheels on that sort of one. It actually looks a lot more subtle with the sort of like standard Cayman S look, with obviously a little bit of touches. Yeah, it looks quite cool. More pictures of the car as it kind of develops through sort of like the transformation page as well. A really cool journey to go through. And this is probably one of my best images, that sort of low down stance of the car. Looks really, really cool, and yeah, really, really special. Yeah, I'll end it on a small little video as well, just sort of going around the car. You get to see those cool lights as well, just standard like Porsche awesomeness. And I'll show you the sound of that Fab Speed exhaust as well right at the end, so you can hear that out. And you know, thank you for staying tuned. Cool little car, one for enthusiasts, I would say. You know, if we can't get them because it's so unique and they tend to be on the used market at stupid prices, do it yourself, enjoy your cars, and thanks to the owner for sharing.